What is going on, guys? This is Versus All Gaming with my review of Log Horizon episode 15. And this episode, it was pretty freaking good actually. I am so glad that we finally saw Minori step up because she was definitely our main star here in this episode. So it starts off with them kind of continuing off of last week when Minori was suggesting that they should wait till the afternoon to go into the dungeon. So of course everybody, was wondering, why they should do that. And even run the house, he definitely wasn't fine with that. But after talking it out, they all finally came to an understanding that there was just no teamwork there because they didn't know a single thing about each other. Like, even though they were forced to be in a party, they went to the dungeon multiple times. There was just no chemistry because they didn't know a single thing about each other. But thanks to Minori, they finally opened up and they should learn everything, about their skills, what they like about them, what they don't like about them. And it was definitely a good thing to see. I am so glad that she took the leadership role because it clearly paid off. And so I was actually surprised that I was surprised to learn that like all of the samurai skills, they're like taunts. Because I thought, they were pretty cool, like pretty cool attacks. But they actually don't do damage. They should make the enemy, think that they've been hurt. So that right there was like definitely surprising because Samurai with that sword, he should be a powerhouse character, but because he has that tank role, he actually doesn't do much damage. So that right there, really shocked me. And so since Natsugu, like since he's also a tank, and we have seen him like take like did this did multiple hits in past episodes, I also wonder are his attacks the exact same way? Like, do his attacks not do like any real damage? Because that right there made me curious. And I am glad that Natsugu took on Toya at the little, protege, because that right there was definitely awesome. So after they had learned about each other, they actually spent the entire day, learning about one another and all their skills. So that right there goes to show you how serious they were. And even Run the House, he said that he was spending his precious time, which I say with like air quotes, listening. So he was very serious about beating this dungeon finally. So after they were like working together, which definitely paid off because it was so awesome, seeing them be a team for once. We have Toya on the front line, being that tank that he plays so well. We have Minori being the healer. We have Minori. She kind of played that like what was it called? The like I forgot how she called it exactly, but she kept an eye out to see if like if any enemies were coming, but luckily there weren't any. And so we have Ichisu and Rundle, or Rudy as they now call him. They played that backup, and Rudy definitely stepped it up because we saw some two new awesome spells from him, which were the Lightning Chamber and the Frigid Wind. And of course we have his like signature spell, I guess you could say, his Orb of Lava. And also Ichisu, she had mentioned that she learned a new spell, but she didn't use it because the only spell I saw her use was the Renaissance Beat, or Resonance Beat, and I don't think that was the one that she had mentioned that she learned previously, or maybe it was, because I do think that they had showed different names in the subtitles I was watching, but I don't think that was the spell that she had brought up. But anyway, those two worked extremely well together. I am definitely sensing, some chemistry between these two. But Rudy, he definitely stepped it up. Like not only was this spell pretty epic, but they were also pretty badass. But it seems that he's the one that actually does the most work because he actually does damage. He take out the enemies. So this guy had like a much bigger role in their team. But like even after they had defeated all the skeletons, they were still united front because we see that they were moving together and working together, and they finally completed that dungeon. So after they were done, we have Minori contacting Shiro, and of course she was like telling him about what happened, and it was so funny when she was actually talking about the different members in her party, like when she called Rudy lame, and it seemed like he actually woke up from that. That right there definitely made me laugh. But speaking of Shiro, when he was talking to Hironetta, that right there definitely caught my attention because it seems that this guy might be able to rewrite the world because it seems that with his scribe class, if it's high enough and he has a high enough ink and paper for this, he could possibly, make laws that even the NPC might have to follow, which is why, he was like copying these maps. Now he says that it was for something else, but if he can get his scribe class high enough, I definitely see this guy, making laws that will affect the entire world. Like maybe he can make a law where it's impossible to lose your memories upon death. Now, if it's leveled that high enough, because we see that these adventurers, they can clearly change the world, which we have seen with their new inventions, and also, how they make food now. So I would imagine, any document that is a high enough level can have some effect like that. But then we go to Krusty and the princess, and it's obvious that the princess is now falling for him. So Krusty is slowly but surely is going to have her eating out the palm of his hand very soon. I definitely cannot wait to see where it's going to go between these two, because like clearly, things are getting heated right now. Oh, and speaking of going back to Rudy, I think Minori, might have a crush on him, because she actually called him handsome not once but twice. So maybe there are some feelings right there that are now forming. Because I thought that, that she could be falling for Toya, because I don't think they're the siblings. I just think they're like really close friends. But maybe Rudy, maybe these two can go further, like in a friendship. But then we have, Ichisu, like later on, and her and Rudy seem much closer. In fact, she is the one that actually stopped calling him Rudy in the first place. So you never know. And plus, these two seem to have a lot more in common, and they have a lot more fun. Because not only do they have the same taste in food, but it's obvious that Rudy definitely enjoys her presence, just like when she's playing him that song. So I'm definitely looking forward to see, where these characters go, because I do want to see more of them. Now, I love Shiro and everybody else, but these new characters that they have been training, I do want to see more of them. And when Ichisu, realized that Rudy what kind of like a dog, those few scenes where they showed him as a dog, that right there had me laughing my ass off. I might actually make a picture of that as a thumbnail, because it was just so hilarious to me. But now things get serious, but where we have Shoru, he's running back with like two of his friends, because Marie, she has reported that these fish-like monsters are now, attacking them. But normally, they are very low numbers, in level. So this should be no problem for new players. But because there are so many of them, and we all know that they're definitely trained for numbers, that they're to be overwhelmed right now. And we just see these people, the fish monsters, and there's just like an infinite number of them. It's like there's no stopping them right now from the way that they're appearing. So that right there definitely made me wonder, what's going on. Now, I'm thinking that maybe what Marie and Shoru spotted, like a few episodes ago, like in the distance of the water, that right there definitely had to have some part in this. Now, maybe whatever they saw, caused these fish monsters to manipulate very quickly and become very aggressive. So I'm definitely wondering what's going to happen. Now, if Shoru died, because I have a feeling that he might get overwhelmed, even though he's a very high level character, there's just too many of these monsters for him to fight alone. So I definitely don't think things are going to go well for him. But if he does die, he could be, the first report of a character losing their memories. Because even, Shiro, he was thinking about that along with Akatsuki. They were both thinking about that, because Shiro did look very exhausted. He actually did. So I could just tell that, everything he learned is slowly weighing him down. But I do hope that he bounced back from this and not let it get to him that badly. But like I said, overall, this episode, it was very good. I'm definitely glad that Minori, that she finally stepped up. I'm so glad to see that, because it's about time that it happened. Oh, and also, back when Ichisu, tried to add Rudy, she couldn't do that. And that right there, strikes me as very odd. Like, why is that? Like, maybe Rudy isn't who he says he is. Now, it's possible that Rudy, he could be a very powerful NPC. Like, maybe that's why she couldn't add him, because why else wouldn't she be able to do that? Because otherwise, it would make no sense, and she'd have no problem with that if he wasn't, a real player. So I do wonder, why is that? Like, who is Rudy really? Like, who is this guy, and what's his real intention? Because why else couldn't he be at it? And you could just see that smile, or that smirk or grin, whatever he had on his face at the end, where where we just saw this like shadow covering the top part of his face. It definitely was like foreshadowing something. So I'm definitely wondering, when will Rudy's identity be revealed? Because clearly he is not who he says he is. But as always, guys, please don't forget to like the video and subscribe, because that really helps me out. But as always, you guys take it easy, and I'll see you all next time.